Well, hello and welcome to another daily Dominion. This time we have a base plus a random different expansion Monday. This expansion in question this time is Renaissance, and we do have 4 cards of this expansion, right? 1 to 5 cards of this expansion, and 2 projects. Well, let's, as always, first talk about the cards in this kingdom and landscapes. We have Ducat, which gives us a coffers and a buy on play, and also when we gain it, we can trash a copper from our hand. And yeah, it's notable that it's a treasure, so it will always be this +1 coffers, +1 buy, without needing an action. But also +1 coffers, even though you can carry the coffers to the next turn, is about equivalent in value to just replacing the copper in your initial hand. And the buy can be nice in the later stages of the game, of course. Then there is Merchant. We've seen this card a few times, as it's a peddler variant that gives you the coin if you play a silver later. Vassal is also some sort of peddler conspirator variant, which will give you +2 coins, and then you discard the top card of your deck and can play it if it's an action card. So essentially +1 card, +1 action. Moneylender. You may trash a copper from your hand for +3. Nice little copper trasher, essentially a terminal silver because it removes the copper from your hand. You can't play it anymore. Then there is Mountain Village, +2 actions, and you draw a card if you don't have any cards in your discard pile. Otherwise, you can look through the discard pile and pick up one of the good cards, or maybe bad cards. That depends. It's nice if you find it late in the shuffle to really be able to pick the nice cards for your hand. But it sucks with cursors and sometimes also with things that make you discard your hand, like villain in this case. But that's not too much of an issue here, I think. Next up, there's Remodel. Trash a card from your hand, gain a card costing up to 2 more than it. This one notably enables you to thin out estates, and even in this kingdom, because there's a good or good-ish 2-cost card, coppers, and later it will allow us to turn golds into provinces. Next up, so Remodel is one of the archetype cards from the base game. Next up there's Smithy, which just gives +3 cards and increases our hand size on play. There's another Smithy in here, and that one is Swashbuckler, which also gives the +3 cards, but costs 1 more, because if the discard pile is not empty after playing it, we also get +1 coffers, and then if we have at least 4 coffers, we take the treasure chest, which is an artifact, so only one player can have it at a time. And yeah, it's quite nice because it gains you a gold for free at the start of your buy phase. Usually you won't be able to use it during said buy phase, but still a nice effect. Yeah. Next up, another draw card, Scholar. Discard your hand, +7 cards. I would say usually it plays worse than Smithy because, well, you gotta line it up nicely and you can't increase your hand size above those 7 cards. But sometimes if you can decrease your hand size reliably, it can be a nice way to get through your deck and draw. Next up, Villain. +2 coffers on play, and also a militia-like attack. Each player with 5 or more cards in hand discards 1 costing 2 or more, which means that in the early game, they will need to discard their estates. If they have some in the late game, it's largely inconsequential as they'll just discard a province. But it does mean that they'll have a card in their discard pile afterwards, which concerning Mountain Village isn't too great, because they'll just pick it up back up. But concerning Swashbuckler, it might mean that they can activate this condition to get treasure chests a little more easily. Even though this anti-synergizes, because if you then start a turn by playing a Mountain Village, you pick up the card you've just discarded. Alright. There are two projects here. Projects are things that you buy once and have the effect for the rest of the game. First one is Sewers, which costs 3, and then when you trash a card other than when you trash a card other than with this, you might trash a card from your hand, of course. So this just means that you get a free trash whenever you trash a card. So for example, if you use Remodel, trashing an estate, you can at the same time trash a copper. Nice to get thin rather quickly. And then the last one is Citadel. The first time you play an action card during each of your turns, replay it afterwards. It costs 8 for a reason, because this is a super strong effect, and it's usually desirable to try to aim for this quickly. So what do we open with? Or before we sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Before discussing openings, let's talk strategy very briefly. There is almost everything, there is everything you'd desire for a nice little engine. There is trashing and remodel, Moneylender, sewers, and with sewers even Ducket. There is draw in Smithy and Swashy, and there's a village. There's plus buy. There's no other source of real gains. There's remodel, which can turn your cards into better cards. And notably, there is a small synergy between Remodel and Swashy, as if you gain golds with the treasure chest, you might be able to turn them into provinces later. We can have a brief look at this kingdom plot, just reflecting what I just said. Villain is a rather weak attack, that's why I just ranked it 1, but it still can be a tad annoying, I guess. But if you just pair up your mountain village and your smithies, you should be able to draw usually. All right, now I can talk about openings. With the 4-3, I think we just open Remodel Silver. Remodel Ducat would also be a consideration, and also if you were bold enough, you could just go Sewers Ducat and already thin out an estate, hoping to hit 4 the next turn. Within a 9-card deck. But yeah, I like Remodel Silver a bit better. Just because we are going to have some draw, and we should be able to deal with a not super thin deck. Concern with the sewers sometimes is also to thin down a bit too much. So yeah, we want to try to avoid that. On the 5-2, I would just buy Remodel Nothing and be a bit sad, but yeah, here we have the 4-3, so we can just go for this. AI opens Vassal and Remodel. Also nice. Now we do see the Remodel on this turn, so we don't get to buy sewers before picking, before playing the Remodel, which kind of sucks, but we at least get to turn this estate into, well, we could turn it into a Ducat and trash a copper. We could also just say, well, maybe a Moneylender might be nice. Next turn, we're guaranteed to hit 4, so we can just buy a mountain village and even hit 6 here. There's also consideration of going villain early to accumulate a few coffers, but I think for now I like getting this mountain village in. This will enable us to pick up this swashbuckler, which in the case that we find the mountain village here will allow us to draw. Now we could also just say, okay, we're happy with thinning down a copper and picking up another 5, but it's nicer to remove these 3 coppers from the top of our deck here, I think. And also get a coffers for this swashbuckler. Because we can, yeah, we now thinned 1 copper less, but we cleared these 3 coppers off the top of our deck. And now I think the aim is just to pick up more mountain villages and swashbucklers. As I said, we need to be careful to keep some payload in our deck, but with the Moneylender, I think we're quite good on that front. So we can pick up another mountain village because there is another swashbuckler in there, which we'll hopefully find. Yes, we do find it. And now, perfect, we get to draw the deck, we get to trash a copper, and we hit 8 here. We don't have any other buys. This was a really nice turn, going to pick up the citadel there, and I don't think we're ever going to pick up the sewers, because why would we in that case? Now, how do we proceed? We really want to get this treasure chest for extra gains. So what we can do is we can remodel something here. Maybe we remodel the ducat into a vassal to have a bit more power to a bit more money this turn. Or we just turn a copper into another ducat. I think I like ducat into vassal. We do have another ducat in there, so yeah, this is perfect. We pick up the treasure chest here. The Moneylender can trash another copper. And next turn we can maybe turn this Moneylender into a better card. And yeah, pick up a remodel and a mountain village here. Very nice. Vassal is also nice. I think I forgot to mention this, but it also enables us to put a card into our discard pile. And yeah, I mean, I think we are ready to start provincing. There's not that much more to do in this kingdom. And with remodels, we'll also be able to oh, I shouldn't have played this. With remodel, we'll also be able to mill provinces, which means that we can turn a province into another province without any consequence. Now, what are those last cards? Just the mountain villages. Oh, I actually should have left them there. Now let's turn this into a gold. Pick up this gold and just buy a province. We could even buy another province here, but we're comfortably ahead. Next turn, what are the remodels going to do? We have 2 golds now, so the remodels will hopefully be able to turn them into provinces. We could think about picking up another mountain village just for reliability, because they are so crucial to find in our starting hand. And I think I'm going to do that. The 8 coffers is way more than we'll need anyways, I think. Especially if we get rid of both of the golds this turn, remodeling them into province. But yeah, this is super fast. Wow, it's only turn 10 and both, now turn 11, and both AI and I have picked up loads of provinces. Now let's hope, yeah, we do find the swashbuckler. We can turn now. Now it's the question of how we proceed. I think we want to try to triple province here. Just so we get out of the AI's reach, and we do get to do that while even now I lost my train of thought because I spotted that we already have the win. Sorry. What I wanted to say, we do get to do that while even getting a duchy with it, but we can just turn this province into another province and buy the last 2. And yeah, this was insanely fast. 11 turns. Worked out really nicely, but yeah, I don't know. The AI also seemed to do the right things. I'm not sure about this starting vassal. Maybe it caused it to have some sad shuffles, but and also notably the AI didn't thin as much as we did. But thinning with remodel is always a matter of I don't know, finding it at the right times. So yeah, super fast, super strong kingdom with strong cards. And had we not lined up our draw so nicely on the last turn, it might have been a bit scarier. The only thing, like the confidence I had in playing the swashbuckler here, or well, playing the last turn as I did with the remodel into the province here, was that afterwards there were 3 provinces left, of which I would at least have gotten to pick up 1. If I find another remodel, I could have milled 1 at least, and then yeah, I would have likely been out of reach. But it was a somewhat risky play. Yeah. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and I will try to catch you next time. Goodbye.